Hello, in this video I want to explain the second step of the parables research paper process. In the second step, you're going to generate a list of articles that you can access digitally through the Sacred Heart Library on your assigned parable. So first I want to point out uh, that all of the directions for the parables research paper will, from this point forward, be available here at the bottom. If you take a look, I'm on the Lessons tab, right? So if this is our dashboard, I've clicked on Lessons, and here's our lessons. And at the bottom, it says Parables Research Paper, Directions for Steps 1 to 9. So if you were to click there, then you would see all of the steps. Now, you don't, some of them are locked, you're not able to access them yet. Step 1 we did 2 weeks ago. And that was just you had to read about the assignment directions and then ask me a question about those. So that's what's basically duplicated here. And then we have here an explanation of step 2, which is what we're doing this week. And as I mentioned, what you're going to do in this step is simply generate a list, do a little bit of database search to generate a list of exegetical articles that are digitally available to you on your parable, your assigned parable, through Sacred Heart's library. So what you're going to do, and so here's what it looks like. It talks about accessing the database here, and here's the video you're actually going to be watching right now, and then it talks about how you create a reference list and the format it should be in, and here's a link to the Sacred Heart School of Theology style manual. So it'll tell you, give you directions. I think you've interacted with this in other courses for research papers, but it tells you the style that your reference list should be so you can cite your articles that you're going to find. And then once you have written it out in Word, you're going to submit it by clicking on this link. And then, obviously go to Files, and you're going to find your document wherever it is and then dump it in here to submit it to me by the due date. Okay, so, but if we go back here, then you will find, again, on this step 2 page, a link to the library. After you have watched this video, you click on this link here. Now, before I click on that link, I want to point out that you can always access the library anywhere on any computer if you simply, I'm going to go back, just kind of get just to Google so you can see this. So here's the Google homepage. If you were to simply to click in www.shsst.edu, you land at our homepage. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, then you'll see it says here Sacred Heart Portal Login. This, if you click on here, it takes you here. This is the portal landing page, and here you see Leo DeHone Library. If you click on there, you will be at the home page of the library, and we are going to be using databases. So see this tab here? You can click on this tab because I'm going to have you use one specific database, and that database, if you kind of scroll down, will be Atla. See, it says Atla right here. And so you click on Atla, and then you'll do your search, okay? And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just want to show you that that's one way you can access Sacred Heart's library from anywhere. But I'm going to go back and show you how to access it through the link that I have, since that's there. Okay, but and I'm going to talk about how you search in a moment here. But let's go back. I'm going to get rid of all these different tabs, because now let's say you're accessing this through Populi, through the course Populi site. You're going to click on what says Top Cat Primo. That's going to take you to the library's catalog, and it'll look like this. And then, let me get me out of the way. First thing to do is sign in, right? Click on sign in, and then SHSST email, click on that. Okay, it already knows me. you might need to put in your data, like your password and what have you. A screen will show up to ask you to do that. But you can see now I'm logged in, right? There's my name. Okay, now once you're logged in, then scroll down and underneath databases, find the Atla Religion Database. Click on it. Okay, so now we're in Atla. This is a database of all from that collates the article entries and books and a lot of things into this huge database on topics related to theology and religion. Now, what you want to do, we want to do not a basic search, but an advanced search because this is going to make it much easier for you. Click on advanced search. So you saw how I did that right underneath this box, right? We were at basic search when I first came on here. See with the advanced search right there? Click on advanced search. Click on full text because you just want things that you can access digitally. You don't just want the reference, you want the actual article. This will narrow the search down to things that are available as PDFs. Choose your language. You might know more languages than just English, but I'm just going to choose English here. So if you want to find other languages, you can also search that way, but let's just choose English. Make sure you don't choose Middle English or something like that, just regular English. And then click on articles. Okay, so we've made 3 filters: full text, English, articles. And then come down here and say, oh, now I got to put in my search uh, parameters. So this is where you type in the biblical reference for your parable. So let's use Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. That's one of your parables, right? I've given you the biblical reference for your parable. So click it in there. And now all you have to do is you could either hit it up here where it says search or down here say search. And voila, here we go. We have all the articles in the database that have the article as a PDF. So go and do likewise in Minority Biblical Criticism of Luke 10, 25 through 37. All you have to do for this week is therefore then create your reference list of every single reference that's available through Atla that has a PDF version of the article. Okay, so that information is all right here. You can see the titles here, the author, the journal that it appeared in this case, Who is My Neighbor? This is actually um, from Biblical Interpretation, the issue number, right? It's volume 28, number 2. The year is published, and the pages. So actually, all your information you need for your reference list is right here. But if you wanted to click on here, you would actually get the same information sort of broken out, right, in more detail for you. Go back since we don't need to really do that. And you can see here's the article. Now you do at this point if you want to download all these articles, great, save it to your computer or your Kindle or whatever. That'd be fine, but you don't have to do that at this point. But you can see if you click on this, then it takes you to the actual article, right? And if I kind of get me out of the way, so I can scroll through it, you can see that I can see all the different pages, right? So this is great because now you have access to these journal articles. You don't have to go to the library; you can get them right through here. And that's all we're going to deal with. It's things that we can access through digital, can access digitally. Okay, so I'll go back. So all you have to do at this point. So in this case, for this parable, now notice there's 2 pages here. So here's 10 references, but you got to click on number 2 or next, and you can see that there's actually another page of references. So this person is going to have to submit a reference list of 20 entries, but it's pretty simple because all he has to do is write out this information following the citation style delineated in the Sacred Heart style manual. Okay, and once that's done, you can actually even once you've completed that, again, you just put this in a Word document and email and submit it through the Assignments tab, and you're done. You've done it. Next week, you're going to, after I see your list, I'm going to um, have an, let you know and say, okay, pick out of this group, pick the two articles, and you'll have a choice on which ones. But I may say, okay, don't, I'll kind of narrow this down a bit for you, basically, about which ones of the what you've collected, which ones to read from. So, for example, I don't at this point want you to read um, sermons. I want you to read exegetical articles. So I'm going to say, you know, I'd eliminate that from your list for next week of what to read and analyze. Next week, you're going to analyze these articles using a taxonomy that I will give you. We'll wait until next week to talk about that, because all you got to do now is create a reference list, collect articles that you can access through Atla in PDF formats. Okay? Some of you may have less available. So, for example, let me change the search. I'm going to change the search from chapter 10. Instead, I'm going to do chapter 13, 6 through 9. That's a parable that another one of you has. And look at this. Again, because the advanced searches are still on, all the filters are still there. This person only has 4 articles. So this is going to be an easier task for this person, because he only needs to delineate on his reference list these 4 articles. Okay, so I think the most is like 20, and the least here is 4, if I remember correctly from my quick search of all your different parables. I might be wrong there somewhere, but I think that's basically about right. Okay, so this person, it's a shorter list. So I'll deal later, talk about what a person in this situation will do to flesh out his reference list, but don't have to worry about that now. Good. Is that all clear? What you're to do? Again, simply do this search through Sacred Heart's Atla database. Find the articles using advanced search. The articles that are full text, that are language that you can read, whatever that might be. Uh, you know, for sure English, right? You can find most of the articles in English, and then click article, because you're not going to read a book. You're going to read essays. You're going to read articles, and hit search, and boom, you'll get this list, whatever your parable is. If I were to change this to, let's say, another parable, 16 that's been assigned one, and notice how oftentimes it pops up, so you just have to click on it to populate it, and now it's already searched and found what we have here. Here's this is the story of the dishonest servant. Here we have 5 entries. Okay, so this person only has 5 entries on it. We'll only have 5 entries on his reference list. Okay, and again, I'll just kind of go through this just to kind of give you one more example. Let's do 18. And here you can see it already pops up, 9 through 14. Search it. Right, here's 7 entries in this case. And this is the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. So this person would put on the reference list these 7 references. Good? Okay, hopefully that's clear, understanding of what we're to do, and have fun. This is the beginning of our process to start analyzing your assigned parable. And right now we're just collecting the different references. And next week we'll tell you what the next step is. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to email me. All right, take care. Bye.